Welcome back to the channel, folks, where today we look at another fungi on the British playlist. In today's episode we find a bright purple jewel on the forest floor, known as the Amethyst Deceiver, otherwise known as Laccaria amethystina. This fungi, a basidiomycete, resides in the family Hydnangiaceae. We'll be taking a close look at the features and characteristics which will enable us to identify it and find it in the field, and more importantly, those features which may deceive us into misidentifying it to be something more harmful, such as the colour changes as the fungi ages, from purple to brown. So, I hear you ask, where can I find it and when? The Amethyst Deceiver is commonly found in deciduous and coniferous forests, typically growing on the ground in leaf litter. It appears in late summer to early winter, making it a seasonal find in its preferred habitats. So let us describe the features and characteristics used to identify it in three parts in terms of its structure. Number 1, the cap. Number 2, the gills beneath the cap. And number 3, the stem or stipe. As a quick aside, many of you who have been studying fungi will realise that they break down in general to those with gills beneath the cap and those with tubes, as was the case in the dryad sattel. So let's describe the cap. It is 6 centimetres or 2 1/4 inches in diameter. Its shape, convex to hemispherical when young, becoming flattened and often centrally depressed or umbiliculate with age. The surface and colour is purple lavender when fresh, changing to paler lilac or white, or brownish when not fresh. The colour depth can change depending on the weather conditions, more vivid in the rain, and as it dries out it fades from the centre outwards, becoming pale lilac, buff or almost white. The margin is often wavy or irregular. So let's take a look at the gills and spores. The lamellae are distinctively widely spaced and thick, and they are interspersed with shorter gills known as lamellulae. The attachment is adnate, that is attached to the stem, and slightly decurrent, meaning running down the stem, as for the diagram included. The colour is deep violet and it retains the colour longer than the cap. In maturity they often appear dusted with white powder due to the falling spores, and if a spore print is taken it is white. The morphology of the spores are diagnostic in their own right, that is to say the shape, size, colour and form. However, these are not observable field characteristics. Turning our attention now to the stem or stipe. The shape and size. It is slender, cylindrical and often twisted or bent, 5 to 10 centimetres long and 1/2 to 1 centimetres thick. The colour and pattern is concolorous with the cap, that is to say the same, which is deep violet and covered with fine whitish fibrils. The base is often covered in violet fuzzy mycelium, known as the tomentum, often retaining some of the leaf litter. Turning our attention now to other issues. I hear you asked, can you eat it? Well, the short answer, yes, it is edible, but rather tasteless. And you should be aware of other issues such as arsenic, particularly if it is found close to mine spoil or mine workings, because the absorption of arsenic can in its own right make it poisonous. The mushroom's bright amethyst coloration fades with age, therefore making it difficult to distinguish or identify. The following side-by-side image depicts two close cousins, the Amethyst Deceiver and the Deceiver, i.e. amethystina versus Laccata. Whilst freshly emerged specimens of the Amethyst Deceiver are both common and relatively easy to identify, the Deceiver or Laccata is more likely to be confused with other browned fungi. Whilst there are relatively few purple mushrooms, let us consider a few confusion species that may contain the poison muscarine. There are relatively few purple mushrooms, but let us consider some potential confusion species, notably the Cortinarius family, which has a very slight purple tinge. These can generally be excluded by the ginger coloured gills and a ginger spore print. Consider and be familiar with the lilac bellcap or lilac bonnet Mycena pura, which also contains the poison muscarine. Consider also and be familiar with the lilac fibre cap, which is much rarer, the Inoside Geophilia variety Lilaccinia, which has a main distinction of off-white or grey gills. Remember, you can use a spore print to validate your findings, and that the Amethyst Deceiver will produce a white spore print, not a brown one as seen in this fibre cap. Well folks, that's it from me on this jewel of the forest floor. Once again, thank you very much indeed for watching. We'd love to hear from you on any thoughts, tips or comments on finds that you have made. In the meantime, if you have liked or enjoyed this video or found it interesting or educational, please like, share and subscribe to help the channel become successful. All that remains to be said are wise words from our feline friend Maggie. If in doubt, leave it out. Until the next one, whatever the weather may be, go outdoors and enjoy nature.